everyone won't miss this part. Okay, now here comes to our the moment we are waiting for. Welcome, Thomas.
Good evening again. I hope you are very excited, and I'm actually very excited to be invited by all of you. So, okay, let's do something different. Today, first let me remove this. Okay, we'd like to share about some few things about acting and humor. And I'm sure a lot of you maybe would like to use more acting and humor into your speech, or maybe into your daily life, right? Yes, because I think it's maybe useful, and it's a way you can, maybe be different. So, I want to tell you first, I'm not very good at PowerPoint, okay? So, it looks a little bit boring, but don't worry, I didn't write a lot. Okay, so first, let's have a quick look at content. So I say first is why is acting? And then why acting? Then I will talk a little bit about body movements. Then different form of acting, like dialogues, body movements, imitation, and drama. Acting strategy, how you can use the vocal, briefing, bodies. Then more into humor and comedy, especially the writing part. Pro and con, the stage, and some tips you can use for yourself. Right, let's go. Let's kick off. Okay, first of all, I have a question to you. What do you think about this question? What is acting? Anyone can just tell me what you think is acting.
Exaggerating.
Exaggerating.
Dramatize.
Dramatize.
Being someone you're not.
Yeah.
Imitation.
Interesting. Imitation, being someone you know, exaggerating. Okay. I think it's actually a little bit of all. I have made a definition of acting, which is acting is performing the role of a character. So actually, yeah. So when you do acting, actually, I would say you are performing a role. Could be a policeman, like in the movies. You can perform someone with a killer. You can be even an animal, even a tree. No matter what, you are performing. So you are acting someone you are not. Actually, acting is different from body movements. So sometimes in a stage, we use a lot of body movements, but it's not necessarily acting. However, acting needs body movements, but not the opposite. So it's a little bit different. And first, I will talk more about body movements. So, why acting? In a stage, actually, the communication already started before you even open your mouth. When you enter to the stage, you can start with any kind of form of communications, not only the vocal. Acting is very important, especially on the stage when you are doing a speech, because it will make your speech, your message more impactful, and especially special. And this is what you want to do for your audience. That's how you're going to remember you. So, I've kind of defined, I will talk about first about body movements. 3 types. Kind of define the give, the show, and the chop. Last week, I went to a Cantonese restaurant. I ate dumplings. It was so delicious. And I really think Cantonese food is the best food. Now, let's look at this again. First, the give. Last week, I went to a Cantonese restaurant. I ate dumplings. Here, I give you the fact and the choice. And the number 2 is the show. It was really good. I show you my emotion. I really, really enjoy this food. So delicious. And 3, the chop. I really think Cantonese food is the best food. The purpose of the third one is to be convincing. Are you convinced? I think Cantonese restaurant is the best food. So you can use these 3 types of body movements when you are doing a speech. And remember, each should have a reason. So another thing is when you are using also your hands. Because your hands and your arms are maybe more than 50% of the body movements you will use on the stage. Your arm and your hands. Okay? But remember one thing. When you are using your hands, your palms are Note down. I give you an example. In this room, just an example, you don't need to do it. Everyone rise up on the right and go to the left. Everyone rise up and go to the left. If I do the same thing, uses this movement. In this room, everyone rise up and go to the left. Or if I use my finger. In this room, everyone on the right rise up and go to the left. What do you think? Which one is more efficient? Of course, the palms up. It will make you feel, according to studies, you can see, 84% will be more receptive. And 52% palm down. And pointing, never. Pointing is for like, maybe politicians or something like communism. So you will make people more comfortable, like you're doing something together. Remember, this is a very small detail, but it can be very important when you are doing actually a speech. So remember, this is gentle. This one, no. And this one, never. You are going to the left. People are going to freak out. Also, when you are using your arms, you should be careful also of the way you use it. For example, if you are talking, we use a lot of, sometimes the arms and the hands. Be careful to not be like this, Otherwise, you will look a little bit strange or a little bit awkward, like this funny picture. I went to a Cantonese restaurant and the food was so good. So if you do like this, you might lose totally the message. People will focus on something a little bit awkward. So, and this is why the body movement it can really help your speech and your message, but it can also lower your message, especially when you are talking and you are doing some unnecessary things. This is what I said here. Avoid. You should always match your message. You cannot say, I don't know, the economy in Asia is rising. It should match. Should make sense. Okay. Otherwise, it's no sense at all. And avoid the useless ones. Sometimes you watch TV, I don't know, the news on TV or anything. And don't you feel annoyed? Sometimes the presenter always like, today we're going to talk about, the economy in Hong Kong. And, they're doing this, they're doing that. So what happens? The audience will focus on what they do. And they lose attention. Actually, everything you said, no matter how good and powerful is your content, they will lose the attention. So, don't do it. Okay. Now, let's look at different forms of acting. Yeah. Dialogues. If you are doing a speech, especially when you want to do a humor speech, the use of dialogue is very strong. Very, very strong. For example, two people. Sometimes you want to include someone in your speech. Like today I use Ming Ming, or you can use maybe your father, your mother. I called my mom and she said, baby, don't do this. You can use a dialogue so the people will totally feel the conversation that you actually want to show to the audience. But if you avoid the dialogues, it will sound like you are reading something. And if you are reading something, people will not focus. Always use the dialogue as much as you can. And if possible, in the dialogues, try to change your voice. If you are using two persons, you can change your voice. Like you are using, someone with a stronger voice. Oh, with a lower voice for a lady, it's okay. No matter what. You are doing the dialogues. People will connect much more easily. Imitations, the same. You can use accent, like a UK accent, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I'm French, but today I can be from UK. Oh, I'm so sorry, but in other words, you can try. You can use any kind of accent you want. A French accent is very, very different. If I speak very French, I'm sorry, usually I took a perfume every day. For me, it's okay, What do you want to do? I'm French, I want to have a rest. I don't want to work today. Tomorrow is Sunday. In France, we don't work, I'm very simple. You can use a different accent, So, yeah, you can try, use different accent, imitate someone, Why not? You can try. And silent. Silent. Sometimes you can... Okay, silent, when I say silent, means two things. One is a pause, which also, is very powerful because you pause. People reconnect. You can surprise. Again. And also, when I say the silent performing, you can just do an acting. You can act something or someone without speaking also. It's like a gag, you know, people will guess. So you can also use this form of acting. Acting strategy, okay. Now something very difficult, and I heard a lot of time is how to do some acting without sounding like you are memorizing by heart. Speak naturally. This is what we want to do, you know, speak naturally. You know, comfortable, you're on stage, try it. So first is don't memorize all. This is what I do usually when I write my speech. And when you are going to like a district contest, for example, you have so many people looking at you, so scary. You know you are the next one. You are freaking out. So what you do? What do? You take your paper, you take your draft. You are on the backstage and you are looking at your draft. Oh my God, it's yellow card. I'm the next one. Just a second. Don't do this. Don't, never before you are going on the stage. Because if you do this, what's going to happen? You're going to freak out. First of all, it's not going to help you. Actually, you think you're going to memorize. When you are nervous, you never memorize. And second, if you try to memorize everything, okay, maybe you know your speech perfectly. You go to the stage, what do? You're going to say your speech. It will sound like you are reading. Because in your mind, you are reading what you know. It's like your brain have a scanner, you know. So avoid doing that. So how to do? Of course, you need to know your speech. You know your speech. But then, I will say like this. Try to do your speech in front of few friends first. Maybe 5 people. And you do it so naturally that you have no pressure. Maybe your best friend, you are more confident. Just 2, 3, 4 people, enough. And you do your speech one time, at least one time, before a competition. And you do it. And you will see that maybe some words you will change. So you will add a little improvisation. So a little bit improvisation, actually, in a prepared speech is very useful, actually. A little bit. And the last, focus on the audience instead of the speech. Of course! If I do a speech and everyone is like, maybe looking at WeChat, maybe sleeping, connect, change something, do something, you know. Like now I'm talking, I'm here, people look. The audience, and anything else. So you always need to focus on the audience. The audience is like, you know, we say, customer is God. The audience is God at this moment. Always. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but always. At least I connect. At this moment, I connect. Yes, it is. Okay. Number 2. Acting strategies. Emotion. I would say emotion is really key. When I go to the stage, actually myself, I tell you something. When I did the district contest, like some competitions, something I really felt very difficult is I was doing my speech, the same speech, over and over and over. It's boring for me. Because I feel I do this, repeat the same things over and over. So what do I do? In this case, club level, district level, no, club, area, division, you need to repeat again and again. Yeah, it's boring sometimes. Especially when some of your audience already listen to your speech. What do I do is I really feel like I'm doing it the first time. Put emotion to yourself. It's like you really feel. If you put emotion to yourself, it will be much easier to give the emotion to the others. Like when I say, I went to a Cantonese restaurant, I ate dumplings. It was so good. I think Cantonese food is the best food. You really put the emotion to yourself. It's like you are really believing. I think the emotion, it is what people will remember at the end. Laughing is emotion. Humor is emotion. Sadness is emotion. Emotion is what people remember in your message. Feel what you say. Okay, little bit about the vocal. Vocal is very important. You need to, you know, sometimes speak loud, sometimes speak lower. But don't scream. Don't scream. Sometimes you want to have, it's true when you are putting your voice a little bit higher, it's more impactful. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to be here. Okay, you can do it a little bit, but if you do this all the time, people are just annoyed. I remember a speech in a spring conference, a very nice speech last year in Shenzhen conference. If I remember, it was about so what. I don't know if you guys have heard of this speech. Bellehchili? Yeah. To me, it was a fantastic speech, but a little bit too high. And some people came to me and say, what do you think about Vic's speech? you know, a little bit too loud, a little bit too loud. So be careful of it. It's very good to use a strong voice. You need to be moderate. Yes, moderate. Okay? Energy level. Maybe one of the most important also to keep the audience alive. You need to show you have energy. If you are tired, I don't know, take coffee, take a Red Bull, take some green tea, take some vodka if you want. Whatever you feel comfortable. Don't be drunk, okay? I'm recorded, I should not say that. I apologize. Don't drink alcohol. Just be energetic, have a good night, be good. But really, in a stage, you need to be the best out of yourself. These days, really, you are after the, you know, it's like you are running 200 meters, you know, like maybe a marathon or something. The energy level is really, really contagious to the audience. If you put so much energy to the audience, people will feel it. Very strong. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? Yeah! Sometimes you can feel you are in a concert. Yes, because it's exciting to be on stage. It's exciting to be the audience. You connect together. Yeah. Okay. Another acting strategy is surprise! Oh my God, he's so crazy. This guy is so crazy, you know. You know what? I tell you, it's true. As you said today, the key of humor is also surprise. Because you know what? Yeah, people they will never expect. But at the end of my speech, you know what people remember? Not my message at all. Only like, Thomas, oh Superman! Even 1 year later, Thomas, oh Superman! Okay. I don't mean you need to be that crazy, okay? You don't need, but just you need to bring surprise to the audience. Because we love surprise, don't you like? We all love surprise. As an audience who are sitting here, you want to see something different. Yeah, something you will never expect. So, remember? Surprise. No. It wasn't true. Could be. Okay. Actually, I would say, I don't know how to say that with factors. I would say one is confidence. Actually, really be confident. Also, sometimes, you know, we are afraid of the stage. We are all afraid of the stage, no matter how experienced you are. But you need to show to the audience you are confident. Because they will feel, how to say, when you are doing like especially, you know, speech with a very large audience, they will believe, you know your message. You believe your own message. If you are not confident, they will hesitate. If you hesitate, they will think you hesitate. It's difficult to pass a message. Okay, don't try to imitate champions. I will say like this. I have seen a lot of like workshops, and you know, sometimes we look on YouTube like of world champions. We like to compare like Dan and Jay. I see something. I don't know what it is. It was a very fantastic speech. You see, we see a lot of world champions. But one mistake. Sometimes a lot of people try to imitate. Why you should not imitate? Because you need to have your own style. So you can get inspired by a lot of workshops. You can get inspired maybe from Juin, mini champions, but at the end you need to add your own style. So it's like a cocktail, I would say. Get inspired from different champions, inspired. Plus, you add yourself. You make a cocktail. This cocktail is success. And practice, of course. Practice is, I don't need to mention, go on the stage as much as you can. Go on the stage, go on the stage, go on the stage. Don't be afraid of, what if I'm not funny? What if I'm not funny? What, go to the stage and talk. You know, you can be boring, but you will learn something no matter what. Go on the stage as much as you can. When you do the taboo topic, are you scared? Yeah, we are. Me too. We're all scared. Get this chance. When you have taboo topic, it's a chance to be on the stage. Raise your hand and go. You will have one more experience. Otherwise, someone else will take your chance. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about humor and jokes. Oh my God, this guy is so, you know, enjoying. So, humors. Now I'll talk a lot about humor. How to be funny. Is there any way to answer this question? No, I don't think so. There is no formula of being funny. Everyone is funny. We are all funny. Now there is a little, some stuff to, how to say, there are some formulas you can actually put into your writing when you are writing a speech, that you can maybe turn something into a humor. Let me explain a little bit. Okay. First, a different kind of humors. Actually, there are a lot of kind of humors. I just put the most popular ones, like popular humor. What do I mean by popular humor? It's like you are using something psychologist, like for example, daily lives. So popular humor can touch very large audience, no matter you are from the US, from Europe, from Asia, no matter what. The popular humor is used by a lot of famous comedians. Well, I know a lot more in the US or in France, in Asia, I don't know. Also Peter doing more like specific. Specific humor, I would say, could be specific like to a country. Could be specific for, I don't know, someone will talk about like doctors. We will joke about doctors, one will joke about lawyers. So specific humor, yeah, more into a specific something. I would say the humor I use is a mix. Like I use about Ming Ming is about China. But if I do the same speech, maybe in the US, no one will understand. So you need to look at which kind of humor you are doing. And the dark humor, of course, the dark humor is also different. You can talk about something like a tragedy into a humor. So I would say the joke structure actually is very simple. You have the setup and the punchline. So when you are writing a joke, you see the setup is actually a way to make the people understand. You make the audience understand what you are talking about. So let's say the setup is all the information you give to the audience. At the end, then you add the punchline. The punchline is like the surprise moment. This is the way the people will laugh. So setup and the punchline. For example, I said, Ming Ming, do you have a boyfriend? This question, everyone can relate. And I let you guys guess, yes or no. And then I say something different, punchline. It's complicated. It's a punchline. It's a time people that will not expect. It's yes or no. It's a punchline. Okay, about the humor. I would say the most important, of course, is the writing part, actually. There is two parts. When you are doing comedy or when you are doing a humor speech, it's two things. One is the writing and one is the acting. So before you go to the stage and act, you need to write. But how do you get these ideas? I will tell you, for example, myself, how do I do when I write all these things? I never, ever sit on a desk and say, okay, today I'm going to work 2 hours, write 2 hours, my speech. Actually, I never do this. Because if I sit and try to get the ideas, I will never have any ideas of being humorous. How do I do? Daily life. I always have my phone with me. Daily life. Just daily life. I go to the metro, I take a taxi, observations, and when I see something can be read, I just write on my notes. My notes are full of any small things. Could be anything. For example, when I see the Chinese people squatting, you see like, oh yeah, people squatting. When I see the Chinese people, like, you know, they drink, I go to the restaurant and they drink hot water. First time I didn't know it was hot water, I burned my tongue. Oh my god, I burned my tongue. I'm like, oh, this can be maybe a funny thing. I write it down. Maybe, I don't know, the way to use chopsticks, and I observe just little details in the daily life. Always keep this, and this is how I write my jokes. Once I have a lot, it's like a brainstorming. You know, like you write daily anecdotes, even dramatic things about yourself. Something dramatic like, I'm losing my hair. Yeah, my God, so bad. You can always, you know, you can dramatize yourself. You write all this idea down, and the time I'm on my desk is to put the idea together. So I will say the time I want to write a speech, actually the idea already have it. It's only to organize. The time will be to organize. But if I sit down and think of ideas, the idea never comes. Have you ever felt this way? You sit down and you really don't know what to write. You have a speech to write the next day, you only wrote 2 sentences. Yeah, it happens to all of us, actually. So, the second thing is written oral instead of write oral, not written. Okay, even my writing is so bad, I'm sorry. I would say like this. When you write a speech, especially for humor speech, don't try to put a very high level of English. Try to use the same English when you are speaking. you need to write the way you speak. Why? Because you are doing humor. So people, they will not understand. If it's too high level, their brain automatically will try to translate the words instead of think of the joke. So you need to write the most simple English the same way as you are speaking. So the people directly understand, directly connect to your story, directly get into the punchline. It's much easier. Remember that. And 3, find your own style. A lot of comedians, they have their own style, like Rosso Pito I mentioned. Maybe you guys know Rosso Pito. He always imitate like Indians. It's very funny, I tell you. But you know, in India it's very different. I don't know if I can use Indian accent the same. But no matter what, everyone have different style. So you can use like imitations, you have your popular humor, so you will find the way you are funny. Maybe with your friends, when you are doing some jokes. You know, sometimes you are doing jokes with your friends, in your company, with your colleagues. At this moment, you can analyze why they laugh at my jokes. And then this is the way you can write down what was funny. You know, in a small community, your friend, your family, your colleagues is actually the beginning. And then you can find which kind of style you can put into a speech, which kind of humor you are good at. The same, the key is a surprise. The same as I said, you see, example, it's complicated, people expect something different. The punchline need always to be a surprise. Actually, I think on the table topic, someone mentioned about the surprise. It's exactly that, because you need to, the way that people will laugh is something they really don't expect. Otherwise, if it's obvious, it will not be funny. But the rules is, how a joke is funny. It's simple. The audience is the master. If people don't laugh, it's not funny. This is the rule. And sometimes you might try a joke in one specific audience, people will laugh, but not with the others. So this sometimes happens a lot. You need to adjust. Sometimes you need to adjust to different audiences. I will talk into more details. Another strategy is a callback. What do I mean by callback? When you are doing a humor speech or humor comedy, let's say at the beginning, you made a joke, a good joke. You can repeat this joke anytime in your speech. It's very easier. It's much easier because you already have the proof of the joke is working. For example, I did the same thing when I did the spring conference, the Superman. I talk about Ming Ming a lot of times, like today. And when I talk about the humor contest, the first sentence I use is Ming Ming and I. I just say that people laugh already. Why? Because they call back the last year. You can use this anytime. Kuang always use his friend Andy. we never saw Andy. Who is he? We don't know. But he always used as a callback, so we can laugh. Okay, my best friend. Actually, this had a lot of power to the speech. So you can use this strategy also because it's safer, much safer. The second one is testing new jokes. It's like a sandwich approach. If you want to test a new joke, how do you know that your joke is funny? Of course, you need to try with the audience. It's the only way. But a good way to try a new joke is to put the joke in the middle of two jokes. Then you are doing a joke that already works, the people are laughing. You put your new jokes, you are testing your new jokes after this one, and you can see. So you can put your new jokes into two jokes that are already proven. This is usually what comedians do in the open mic. When they do open mic, they're trying this one. Open mic means you guys know open mics, right? So you are trying out different jokes, and this is how you write your material. The same with Toastmasters. Actually, the same. Toastmasters is a kind of comedy. When you are doing to a weekly meeting, it's a kind of open mic because you are trying your audience before the competition. So you can try new material between two things. And actually, this is the way a lot of comedians also does. Okay, pro and cons. Actually, I want to say that, especially in Toastmasters, be careful of the humor sometimes. I heard this information a lot. Thomas, yeah, your speech is funny, but you don't have message. Yes, I heard this a lot. Actually, it was very difficult. I was like, it's true. My God, I just did like a comedy speech, but I have no message at all. It's true. I have no topic. So this is actually what I feel the most difficult part is to have a topic and still be humorous. It's very difficult. But I would say, don't worry, enjoy. If you are doing a humor speech, don't worry the topic. But for the international contest, you need to focus on the topic. So the humor cannot be too strong. And also, something with the humor, you can lose your message sometimes. Because let's say you want to have a very serious speech, you know, I had something very dramatic, you know, I lost my job. But what do you want to be? When you say you lost your job, do you want to be funny? Or you want to be like sad? Yeah, think of it. For me, impossible to be sad. I tried. One time I tried to make a serious speech and people were laughing. I'm like, what the hell? I don't want to make it. So it couldn't work. So this is why sometimes if you want to put very impactful message, the humor sometimes you need to know. But anyway, now I realize it's too hard to be too serious. So let's enjoy. And see what's your point. See what's your point is one thing I always tell myself. Think like this. When you make a speech, sometimes the people, they will understand something different than actually what you want to say. So remember this. What do you want the audience to think of you and your speech when they leave? If you can answer this question, you already answer what you want to say. What do people want to know, want to feel after they leave the room? Quickly, I will finish quickly. I think I'm over time, so I will be quick. Afraid of the stage? If you are afraid of the stage, yes. I think some people are afraid of the stage. Or you are all confident, I believe. If you do, remember, the stage is your world. When you're on the stage, it belongs to you. It's like, it's yours. No one can touch it. Only you. You can do everything you want. So enjoy. The stage is fantastic. Enjoy the stage. The more you're going to enjoy the stage, the more shining will be your speech. Some tips? Yes, this is also important. Check the stage before. Why? Because you never know what happens. Sometimes you want to use some accessories. Okay, I know I'm crazy, I use too much accessories. But no matter what, it's good to test the stage. You will feel more confident. You know, you are walking, you take the mic. If no mic, you test this mic. You need to test. You know, you feel more comfortable using the stage. And it's very important also to release your stress before the speech, the big day. And a quick conclusion is just remember, no matter what speech you are making, in humor, comedy, international speech contest, powerful speech, remember, it should be a memorable moment. So, why I say that? Because a lot of people, I was with a contestant, like at the last conference, and on the backstage, we're like, you know, Thomas, I'm freaking out. I say, don't tell me, me too, I'm nervous. You know, and we are so nervous before going on the stage. It's true, we are very nervous. But at the end, remember, enjoy the stage. Enjoy. Because this will be 7 minutes. 7 minutes are precious minutes. It should be the most enjoyable moment of this time. You never know when you're going to have this 7 minutes chance to make a speech. Today, I would like to thank all of you for listening to my workshop. And I hope you also had a very enjoyable moment, as I just did now. Thank you so much, everyone, for a very, very warm welcome. Thank you so much.